Time's yours.
Hi, my name is Tessa, and I am 1 year and 7 months alcohol free. I identify as a ex-wine mom. I spent decades thinking I was a normal drinker. I got very caught up in the whole mommy wine culture. And then when the pandemic hit, that's when things really went downhill, and they went downhill fast. I think back and think, if not that the pandemic was good, but that if it hadn't happened, I might still be out there thinking I was a normal drinker or managing my very problematic drinking. And so I'm just very grateful to be here and grateful for all of you. The first time that I drank, I blacked out and I was 14 years old. Nothing really bad happened, but it did kind of scare me a little bit, to the point where I didn't drink that much again until I was in college. Alcohol really was like a magic elixir to me. It felt like when I drank it, I was somehow being fixed, and just felt like this like potion that would just make me more confident, feel more at ease in my body, feel more relatable to people. It really worked for a long time. And as we know, it stopped working, which is why I'm here now. But in college, that's when I started to have, a little bit more frequent, I would say more problematic drinking, with more frequent blackouts, drank more heavily, but definitely more, I was more of a binge drinker, not a daily drinker at that point of my life. And I chose the most, one of the top party schools. So that was very intentional. I went to LSU and really lived that up to its full potential, for sure. And then after I graduated college, I started working in the corporate world for about a decade. And that job really, in my working career, it was just continued the drinking, a lot of binge drinking, again, not necessarily daily at that point, but it was just very, as long as we, kept things together for our clients, it was very encouraged as team building, happy hours, retreats. It was all unlimited, free alcohol. And again, it worked for me. It helped me to be more sociable. I mean, for sure, it didn't help me to go and try and do my job completely hungover, but it was a crutch that I relied on for a very long time to help manage anxiety, again, self-worth, all of that stuff. And then when I left the corporate world, and when I was in my early 30s, that was when I started to really feel that brokenness, like there was something wrong with me that needed to be fixed. And at that time in my life, wine really, again, helped to fill that void. And that's when I started to drink on more on a daily basis. Parenting, if anyone listening has young children, that witching hour between like 4 and 7, I heavily relied on wine and listened to all of, the jokes, what mommy wines because you wine, all of that. I took that as legit parenting advice and ran with it, and thought it was funny. And it was not funny. It was a way for me to justify and think that what I was doing was okay, when in reality, I wasn't present for my kids. And that's hard, and something that I feel like I missed, parts of their young childhood, but at the same time, I know, I was still there. The essence of me was still there. in those moments. And I could go and just have, a glass or two a night. And that was what was really confusing to me, because I would even like take a Thursday off. And so if I took a Thursday off, I wasn't drinking every night. And I could just have two glasses during this time, like early, late 30s. So like, there's no way that I would ever it wasn't even in the question. Like, there's no reason why I would have to get sober and quit. Like, this is fine. But then there'd be another heavy night, and then the shame and regret, and then more drinking. And again, the cycle would just continue. I felt like that brokenness and started just going to every naturopath, acupuncturist, therapist, that something was going on with me. I even had like swollen lymph nodes. So I was sure I had cancer. Like, there was just all of this stuff going on. The lymph nodes actually magically disappeared after I got sober. But I was sure there was just like something wrong. And it was never a question of whether I was drinking too much. That was never, alcohol was not the problem. There was like something else going on, some like medical problem or like something. And I'm laughing, it's not funny, but that's really what I did, and wasted, I don't want to say wasted a time, but, explored every avenue out there. The pandemic hit and children were home, my children, and the world got stressful. It got stressful in my home, and things escalated very quickly. So I was probably, could pass as more of a problematic normal drinker before that, but then very quickly I was drinking very heavily, having to drink cider in the morning to function and feel semi-normal, and just spiraling out of control very quickly. I ended up going, again, trying to figure out what was wrong, but knew, in the back of my head, like, this drinking, it was getting out of control. I was doing trauma work, and ended up going and doing TMS treatment. And I think that treatment, even, it's not recommended, that it's actually discouraged. You're not supposed to be drinking while you do this therapy. It's these magnets that they put on your head, and you basically go in. It's approved for FDA approved for depression and anxiety. And that, I believe, by doing that treatment, helped me kind of get lifted out of this fog and wake up to the fact that something had to change. And there was a tiny slither of a new pathway that was built in my brain that I knew I had to just reach for and do. And that's when it was December 27th. Again, nothing really happened. It was too much drinking, but nothing horrible happened. December 27th, 2020, I had my last drink in the morning, peanut butter whiskey, which I never drink. And I decided that was it. And then I found a support group after that. But that, yeah, that was it.
And just pick up, like, we can edit whatever. So
Oh, you can edit. Okay, cool.
yeah, so just pick up in
Okay.
okay.
So on the night before my last day, my sobriety date, it was Christmas Day, and I had stayed sober on Christmas Eve because I wanted to wake up and remember Christmas morning. That was like my goal. I was just going to do it no matter what. And then 3 o'clock rolled around on Christmas Day, and the bottles, started opening, all of that. I overdid it. I woke up at 3 a.m. that morning, just with the worst anxiety, and my dog barking. We had left our garage door open, and a cop was at our door. And I just remember having this sinking feeling, like, what if something, I had all of the not yets running through my head. Like, what if it wasn't just the garage door open? What if there was a fire? What if I didn't wake up? What if, God forbid, all of those things ran through my head, just seeing the cop on my front door for my garage door. And I just feel so thankful that it's like, why is he knocking on my door to tell me my garage door is open? Is like, I was irritated, but at the same time, like, he almost saved me. It was insane. Like, just, it was truly a wake up call. That wasn't, again, not a rock bottom on the surface. It was just like, like, yeah, not a big deal, but it really hit me hard. And that morning I woke up and had that same pit in my stomach, felt like death, drank peanut butter whiskey, which I never drink, but I just knew like that was it. And that just made me completely disgusted with myself. And the first week, it was just, I knew, I didn't tell anyone that I was done, but I just knew. I just knew that that was it. And I had had enough of, enough was enough. It was just my pain. I think everyone has their own pain tolerance, and my pain tolerance was just, that was done. I was sick of just destroying myself. And that's what I was doing. I was really felt like I was just hurting myself in this, and I would continue to do this, continue to hurt myself. And then clearly my eyes were open to the fact that I could hurt other people very easily. And so I was very grateful that I figured that out before anything else happened. I really, the first week was white knuckling, trying to find, it was COVID. And I think a lot of groups, there were some virtual groups out there, but they were kind of just getting started. I was doing a lot of searching. I opened up a TikTok and just thought like nobody in the world could see me, and started posting about like stuff out onto the internet. I ended up joining a recovery group and then not completely resonating with it. And then I found another support group called SMS. It's Sober Mom Squad. And that group really is what helped me to continue on the path that I'm on now, because I really think it could have turned into, a wake-up call, but then I could have easily fallen back into, oh, that was bad, but I wasn't that bad. I can go back. I can try and like fix this and moderate and all of that. It wasn't until I found a support group that I realized like that's not a possibility for me. And I started to really dig in and get mad. I got very mad at big alcohol. I got very mad at the mommy wine culture, honestly, and how women are targeted, moms, suburban moms are targeted by alcohol companies, and that anger was big. And I think it helped me kind of carry through that, those first few months of kind of just like, this is not okay. And it also helped in carrying forward the TMS treatment, where my brain just started to shift to say, I no longer want to poison myself, instead of I can't drink anymore because I'm broken, or like I'm whatever. It's a poisonous substance. And I think I look at it more like a spectrum, where I was further along on the spectrum and luckily figured it out that that was something I could no longer participate in. And then I started to meet people. I honestly was not on any sober related vortex internets or anything before I got sober, but I started to meet people, and I thought like, this is something that I want, that it actually doesn't look like the worst thing in the world or horrible, or like my life is ending and my world is ending. It looks amazing, and I want that. And I wanted it, even though it was in the first 30 days the hardest thing ever, because I was constantly saying I want that, but at the same time fighting these urges and understanding that I hadn't been dealing with any of my feelings really, that I had to like learn how to actually sit with uncomfortable feelings. And that was really, really difficult in the beginning, because as I had been in therapy working on stuff, it really was like, okay, all of that work, I have to put it into practice and not have this crutch, that I had been relying on for so long, that did work until it turned bad. So that group also, it's not a program, but I think I feel like I was lucky in that, I was able to have that feeling of accountability and connect with people, and having accountability of people, asking where you are, and checking in when you don't show up, or when you get on and have a mental or something like that, people calling and checking in, that really, really helped me in the beginning and carried me through, honestly, through the first year. The first 30 days, 60, I think I felt semi-normal around the 6-month mark. But yeah, the hardest beginning part. And yeah, and I think just one other point, I had tried to do like a dry January and like another 2-week challenge. And so, while it may seem like it was the first time I had quit, it wasn't like some unicorn process where, it wasn't something that I had tried to quit before, but this felt like, before it was more white knuckling, and this felt like it was actually a permanent thing. It wasn't just some like challenge I was doing. This was like a real committed thing. And I think that helped to carry me through as well, to say, like, in my mind, just having the determination, like, this is no longer an option, and I'm excited that it's no longer an option. So yeah, that today, at this point, at 1 year and 7 months, it's crazy. My life is not what I thought it would be, but it's absolutely fulfilling and incredible. I have the amazing opportunity that I've been given to work for the past 6 months, with a sobriety app, Lived, and I've been able to create content for them, courses and short motivational audio, and they have been so incredible in helping their users with this amazing free content from so many incredible recovery, people in recovery. It's just, I've learned so much from that app and the other users in it. So that's been incredible. I also create content on TikTok, and that's been super fun. It's kind of therapeutic and my way of helping people, but also just getting out everything that comes up in recovery. It's kind of a mix between me just like letting things out and sharing, and also taps into my creative side, which I think is, just to have something more, can get a little addicting, and maybe not the healthiest form of, I wouldn't say I'm trading my addictions, but it definitely can sometimes feel like that, with social media, I think, for anyone. So I have to kind of balance that, because I get really into it, but it's been really fun. And I get messages from a lot of people that it's helped them. And that's really why I love to do it. And then and I'm just a member of Sober Mom Squad, which is a community. They have a free meeting on Wednesday, and then they have about 20-minute meetings a week, and all these different courses. That is a paid membership that any mom can join. So it's kind of a nice alternative, not a program, but a community for people, for moms who want that like-minded support. And it kind of gives that safety for us to just get out all that rage about mommy wine culture. It's been absolutely incredible. So yeah, that is what is happening now. So thank you so much.
Now, if you will just say, if you want to follow me on TikTok,
Okay.
how do people find you on TikTok? How do people find
The lived. Okay. And we'll link,
yeah.
should I just say we'll link everything? They can follow me on TikTok with the my name.
Well,
Sorry, I'm at the promotion. So we'll link the Sober Mom Squad and the Lived app in this podcast episode. And then for anyone that wants to follow me on TikTok, I am at Tessa R Lowe, LOWE on the app.